Hello and welcome to Kedrick Farms. We're back with another episode of Campaign of France, and today we're finally going to be jumping into some contracts, because that is the other part of this series. And so I'm just looking at all of these contracts here and noticing we've got a fair amount of fertilizing contracts. And we do have a dry fertilizer attachment for this tractor, so we're going to go ahead and grab some of these. So I'm going to grab... honestly, I'm going to grab all of these fertilizer contracts, and that way we can just kind of go and hit them. Again, the goal is to do 100 contracts here, and I have done hardly any in any of my playthroughs so far. And so this is going to help us out. I do have the Better Contracts mod installed here off of the mod hub that allows me to accept multiples. If you're playing on console, I don't think this is going to be an option for you. However, we're on PC, so we are going to take advantage of this mod just to help us go a little bit faster. It's the same difference. I could just do them one at a time here, but it's a convenience thing. So let's grab our handy fertilizer spreader here and head on up to the store to pick up some fertilizer to spread. Before we actually drive all the way up there, I'm going to purchase this just to make sure we can afford it. $1,920 for 1,000 liters of dry fertilizer. So as long as we're able to get some of these fields done with this single load, we should make enough money to buy some more and keep going. And so the store is on the far side here of the map, which is such an incredible distance here. Yeah, I don't know how we'll manage, but we'll get there. I am going to pop my mini map up here, though, while we're driving, because these roads are a little squirrely, and I haven't quite gotten the hang of it. I think it's just follow all the way around the outside of this map is probably the quickest way to get over there. I think most of the traffic tends to go in the same direction here, and so unless I'm going back to the farm, which I can do on this wider road, I've found it safer to go counterclockwise around the map here. Ooh, it's a John Deere dealer too. How nice. Let's see here. I think I see our fertilizer pallet right back here. Looks to be where things get delivered at the store. So we're going to pull right up here and see if we can call somebody over to load this up for us. All right, so it turns out we don't even hold the full pallet of fertilizer here in our spreader. However, the store owner here has been nice enough to let us leave the rest of that pallet here. We'll be back for it later today. So we're going to come down here. It looks like field 23, I think, is one of the bigger fields. Actually, let's pull over for a moment here. I don't want to get run over by the traffic. Let's pull up the map here. I think field 23 is the big field that we need to do. So let's continue on our path here. We're going to try and get down here to field 23. I think it's best to cut in this way. We're going to follow the path of that cement truck that we just saw go by. And I think if I come up here around the back of town, I can see that cement truck going up the big hill there. I think that's where we're headed. Ah, yes, the one-way road of doom. I remember this road well. Thankfully, we are going the correct way down this unmarked one-way road here. And so we're going to, climb this hill. That's quite the climb with this little tractor and all this weight from the fertilizer. And we're going to get over here and see about spreading some fertilizer on this field here. And we are running with precision farming here. And so you can see the map turning blue as we do our spreading here, which is quite handy. Going to help us make sure we're getting the right parts of the field and not missing too much, because it's always a little bit difficult to see the colors on the ground change here. And in this modern era, you'd probably be running a GPS to spread fertilizer on a field like this. This is one of the bigger fields on the map, and we're going to cover this in nearly 3 passes. So I'm not too worried about making a profit here on this job. We've got about looking like 25%, maybe 30% of our capacity is going to get used up here. And I think this contract is going to pay over 1,000. So let's get to the end here. Contract has finished. Let's go ahead and check that. Yeah, this one was worth 1,000. So we just paid almost all of the money for buying the fertilizer that we needed here. And we've got plenty of fertilizer left to hit the rest of these fields. So this is going to be a fairly quick and profitable experience for us. Let me double check here. We've got another fertilizing contract already for field 26. We might as well grab that one as long as we're here. And we'll just jump right out here on the road behind this car. And down here in this valley, oh boy, we've got another field. We're going to cut right into this field here and start spreading. There was another entrance a little bit further down. Wow, there's like an off-road track there. I'm going to be kind of curious to take our little sporty tractor down that track through the woods there at some point here. Probably not with a full fertilizer load on us, but we'll jump over there and do some exploring on this map before we're done with the series for sure. But this looks like the approved driveway entrance to get into this field. We're spreading a little bit of dry fertilizer out there on the road, unfortunately. And this is actually quite the hill. With some of the smaller equipment, doing different kinds of jobs on this map is going to be a struggle potentially because you've got to use such small equipment to get around on the map. And then you've also got such steep elevations here. All right, let's zip down this road and see if we can figure out how to take this path over to field 17 in the middle of the map there. Looks like we've got some dirt roads or something that we're going to have to navigate down here. Some little tiny paths to get to the interior of this map. I've only ever been on these larger roads, so this will be a fun experience. Now let's make sure there's no traffic coming from that way. The trees are quite intense here. And then we'll zip down here to the bottom of the valley here, and I think this little track off to my left is where we're going. So let's see about getting over here. I like this little grass field to my right, field 43. That's a nice grass field. We may have to think about purchasing some of these other fields around the map at some point. I want to be cautious about purchasing fields. We need to leave a lot of fields around for contracts here. And this is field 17, so we're gonna get out here and spread some fertilizer in field 17 as well. This is a nice narrow field, long field though. So this would be a good field to farm with our equipment. I like going straight with the narrower equipment. But we're gonna knock out this fertilizer in one round here, which will be nice. Zip right around here and right back into it. We've got sunflowers here, it looks like, growing. Little baby sunflowers. And if we pull up the map here, we've got fields 4 and 7 up by our farm, and then field 26 over by what looks to be one of the cow farms. There's like 3 cow farms on this map, which is surprising. It's such a small map. This map is the size of a postage stamp, but it feels so much bigger when you're driving around in this tiny little equipment. And we turned off our map, which was a no-no. I need the map on to figure out where we're going. Now, this looks like it dead ends into field 8 if I go this way, but I really want to see what this is. It looks like it's a cow pasture. It is. So you can just put your cows out to pasture here rather than in a actual barn, it looks like. I'm going to come up here. I don't own the land, so I can't bring up the animal trigger, but I'm almost positive that this is a cow pasture. So let's just double check. Yep, cow pasture, cow pasture. That's really cool. You've got a couple of different cow pastures that you can have out here. Good deal. And as long as we're here, holy buckets, everything needs fertilizing. The world needs fertilizing. We're going to fertilize the whole map. So I realized we've got the time going so fast on this map that we're already starting to move through some of the growth stages. So we're going to slow down here because it's almost dark, And we're going to knock out the contracts that we already have before we take any more. And we're just going to cut through this little grass area and see if I can get over here into Field 7. Field 7 seems to be a little bit more squarish than the other fields we've been in so far today. I do have to say this little tractor and fertilizer spreader is a perfect match. This is working out really well for us. It's not too heavy. It's wide enough to be effective on these fields without feeling like it's overbearing. We haven't gotten to a point where I'm spreading wider than the field is, so there's a lot of spreading or spraying equipment here in the game that's just would be way too big for this map. So I feel like we've acquired a good matchup here. And it's funny, with the field sizes so small, most of the time for a contract you get down to, you know, like you have to do 90% of the field and then you can stop. But it's so small here that we've got to do just about every piece of the field that's visible, because that is, you know, 80-90% of the field. So we're going to jump right over here. Field 4, this is the smallest field we've done so far. And get some fertilizer spread here. And we're almost out of fertilizer, not quite. So we're going to finish this field up, and then we're going to run this thing back up to the store. We're going to cut across this little grass area here and see if we can hit the store up, top off our fertilizer with what we've got up there at the store, and then take another look at the contract list. I think it's probably going to make sense to just spread as much of the fertilizer as we bought and see where that lands us from an economic standpoint. We do have Field 26 down here as well that needed to be spread. So maybe since we're right here by the little road that goes down to Field 26, we'll make a quick turn down there and just see if we can, by some chance, finish that field up with the 10% that we've got. On the one hand, oh, this is Field 26 right here. Perfect. On the one hand, it's like, well, we don't have that much fertilizer. And then on the other hand, it's like, well, it's not that big of a field, to be honest. So here we go. We're trying to space ourselves in the middle of that to get most of it without wasting any off the side of the field here. And this is looking like it's going to be quite the treacherous hillside here. So I'm going to go straight and then I think back up. Oh no, the brakes aren't working. And so we'll just do kind of a back up the hill and head back down type turn here. A little bit dangerous. I'd be worried about this thing tipping over if we were actually doing this in real life. So I'm going to try, and we're not quite going to finish this. We've got a couple of spots on that field that still need to get hit. So let's go get the rest of our fertilizer and come back here. I think if I was being a little bit more careful, we probably could have eked that field out with what we had in the tank, but that's okay. Back up here at the store, we'll get this loaded up here real quick. 400 liters of fertilizer here, so a little bit more than half, and we should be able to get right back out here. Actually, I'm curious now that I'm looking at this. Nope, I know we need to turn left. I don't know why I started to go to the right. I can't remember exactly where we started things off this episode from a finance perspective. I guess I could look in editing here. I feel like it was somewhere around 3,000, 3,200 maybe. Oh man, I can't remember. It's going to drive me nuts. But we should be coming out ahead. In fact, if I jump in here to the contract screen for just a second, we've got a number of them that we need to collect here. Here we go. We're already up to 5,200, so we've definitely come out ahead. I don't know exactly how much ahead, but we're ahead for sure. So I'm going to turn this on. Precision farming should prevent me from wasting my fertilizer. It should only be hitting the areas that haven't yet been hit. So we're going to just zip through here. I do see the fertilizer spreader turning itself off here from time to time, which is good. And I think I probably missed a bit here in this corner. There we go. We are done. So there's another field finished. I think that's the last of our outstanding fertilizer contracts. So we're going to mark that collected. And then look at all of these. We could be doing fertilizer contracts all day, it looks like. We'll grab one more here. I'm kind of curious. This is a field that we just did, so I want to see why it's up already to do again. Plus, it's worth $1,000 compared to some of the other ones, which are not that big of a reward. Although, to be honest, we're not really looking to make that much money doing it, although the money is nice, because we are going to need to buy some seed here as well. I'm just now thinking about to put in our planter so that we can get our grass field seeded and get, and get our wheat or barley here seeded. I still haven't had a chance to look. I need to figure out if wheat or barley yields higher in liters. Since we're not selling it, we're going to be using it for feed. I really don't care which one sells better. What I want to know is which of the two yields more product. And so I'll have to look that up here before next episode so we can decide what we're going to plant for our chickens. I'm following this guy here. He's driving about as erratically as I am. I love that he put his blinker on to go around this curve. Well, I guess there's a Y here, so that actually not a bad idea. Although this one, yeah, every time he turns, he puts his blinker on. Here we are at field 23, and it did indeed grow to the next growth stage here, which is why it's ready for some more fertilizer from a base game contracting perspective. And so we're going to just jump right back in here and spread another load of fertilizer here on this field and make another $1,000. So this was definitely a worthwhile investment for us to get this fertilizer spreader and buy $2,000 worth of fertilizer. We have made far more than that spreading fertilizer here. So we'll call this one a win. And I've lost count. We've done a good number of contracts here today. What I'll probably do in editing is we'll start keeping track of how many contracts we're doing as we go along. So I'll count them out in editing this episode. And then next episode, I'll keep a running tally during the episode so that we know where we're at in achieving our goals of getting to 100 contracts done in this series. However, we're trying to keep these episodes short and to the point, kind of like our equipment and the size of the map here. So that's all for today. Kedrick out. We're also going to do these 4 contracts off camera here, 27, 28, 32, and 33, because they're all right here on my way back up to the farm. Oh my goodness. It's so steep. Oh, hey, what do you know? Missions completed is a stat here. Oh my gosh. Whoa. We're done. Whoa. We almost didn't brake fast enough on that hill. That was close. It's kind of funny. But we're gonna, whoa, drive right through that sign. All right, here we are on field 23, and it did indeed, whoops. Whoa, jumped right out of that tractor. All right, now I'm really curious. So we're going to exit the field over here, and I'm going to see where this little track through the woods goes. We've got to do just a little bit of exploring, right? Oh, man. This thing looks like a four-wheeler, but it's really not. Oh, it goes down to the water here. I can't stop. I don't have the braking power. Oh, no. All right, we stopped. It doesn't go anywhere. It's a trap. Black Sheep Modding, you got me. I thought this went to like a ford in the river, but that was about to be a very bad experience in our little rigid track. Oh, there's a big log there. We're going to try and follow this back up, though, and see where it goes. Oh, there's logs everywhere. This was definitely meant to be more of a hiking path to get down to the river, not a off-roading experience for our rigid track. It's almost like this is where somebody went off the road and just kind of careened down into the river. Good times.